Chairperson Diaz, you are ready.
Perfect, thank you. I'll go ahead and start off with reading the citation, which is in accordance with California Governor's Executive Order regarding the Brown Act and guidance from the California Department of Public Health and Gatherings. This meeting is taking place entirely by teleconference via Zoom. The council chambers is closed. The public is accessing the meeting via the Santa Ana YouTube channel or the city's website. The commission members and I, along with the executive director, recording secretary, and city staff, are in different locations. Please bear with us as the technology may disrupt the flow of the meeting. Good afternoon, everyone. I call to order the April 23rd, 2021 Youth Commission special meeting. Will the recording secretary please call roll?
Thank you, Chairperson. Commissioner Verdin.
Present.
Commissioner Diaz.
Present.
Commissioner Echegoyen.
Present.
Commissioner Huizar.
Present.
Commissioner Ordonez.
Here.
Commissioner Manguilar.
Present.
Commissioner Ortega. Commissioner Ortega is working on a project. She did email me and let me know that she is working on a school project and will try to join later on during the meeting. Chairperson, you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Now, if I can please have everyone stand wherever you are and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right. First thing on the agenda, I believe we do have one presentation tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to city staff to go ahead and deliver us with the presentation.
Chairperson, today we have Sandy Barba from the Santa Ana Work Center who will be presenting on youth paid internships.
Hello, everybody. Were you able to get the PowerPoint?
I did, Sandy. Do you want to share that on the screen? You have access to be able to share it to us.
Araceli, did you want to go ahead and add that and share it so that the group could see it?
Okay, I will go ahead and pull it up.
Hi, everyone. How is everybody doing? Awesome. I love it. Well, we do have some great information as Araceli is pulling that information up for us. We're excited to be able to present the state employment program. It's been quite a few years since we've done a summer program like this, so we're ecstatic about the opportunity to be able to do this and to receive the various funding that we got to be able to get these services out to the youth this summer. So with that said, let's just jump into the information, and please feel free to interrupt us, interject if you have any questions or you need any further clarification. We'd be happy to address those as we present the information, both myself and Araceli. And I'll present myself, I'll introduce myself, and I'll have Araceli introduce herself. My name is Sandy Barba. I have been with the city now for 20+ years, and I work at the Work Center. We're located over on the corner of Civic Center and Flower, 801 West Civic Center Boulevard. We provide a workforce program. So in general, we provide workforce programs to adults and youth and seniors. So anybody 16 and older that is willing and wanting to work or receive training, we're here to definitely assist you. So let's get started with Araceli. Actually, do you want to introduce yourself before I jump into the information?
Sure, I'll go ahead and quickly introduce myself. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Araceli Delgado with the City of Santa Ana Work Center. I've been here for about 13 years, Santa Ana, born and raised. And what I do in my role as a business services rep is connect jobs with our Santa Ana community. Anyone who's looking for work, like Sandy was mentioning, they can come into our center and we can assist them with resources, jobs, and vocational training opportunities. So I'm excited to be here with you today, and that's all we have. Let's jump in.
So let's go to the next. There we go. So as I mentioned, we are the Santa Ana Work Center. Our job is to help individuals with jobs, resources, vocational training. We pay up to $7,000 in paid training to individuals that are eligible. Usually those are 18 and older. However, for this particular presentation, we are going to touch on the STAY employment program. We are very fortunate to have been funded this year by the Cannabis Public Benefit Fund and also the Community Development Block Grant. It takes quite a bit to be able to pay the youth during the summer, so we're ecstatic and very appreciative of this opportunity and the funding that we're receiving to be able to provide paid internships and work experience to youth 16 to 21 years of age. So with that, let me get into some of the details as far as what the requirements and what the program description is all about. Our primary target is low-income youth that have been impacted by COVID. Part of our funding does require for us to be able to outreach and have those youth that are eligible or have been affected by COVID and provide them with some opportunities to get back on their feet, to get their family going and help them with any resources that are needed. And this is the perfect program to be able to help them with that. The youth will be working about 20 hours a week, give or take, depending on their circumstances and what they're doing, whether they're taking summer school, whether they have other commitments, potentially sports or anything having to do with school. Again, our population is 16 to 21 years of age. If they are under 18, they are required to obtain a work permit, which we will help them and assist them in signing off on that so that they're able to get a work permit during the summer. They do have to be citizens of the U.S. or have the legal right to work in the U.S., which there will be guidance on that in the application, which Araceli and I will talk a little bit further about. They must complete an online application. This is a new component that we've never done before, so we're excited to be able to present it within this platform and for this particular program. Given our situation with COVID, we wanted to make sure to make it available to be able to provide services online and virtually if needed. And as we transition into the summer, I know things have been getting a little bit easier to go out into the community and so forth with masks, of course, but we wanted to be prepared for all potential circumstances given our COVID situation. So part of our program is administered virtually through this online platform. And part of that process is the online application where youth will be able to apply, sign off on their application, and also upload any required documents that we need for their eligibility purposes. It is a summer paid assignment, and right now our plan is to begin mid-June, about the 2nd to 3rd week of June, and provide them with $14 per hour. The youth will be working a total of 140 hours during the course of the program. Any questions? I know I threw quite a bit of information at all of you. Do you guys have any questions with regards to what I presented so far? We're good?
Hey, Sandy, can I chime in for just
yes.
a second? This is Lisa Rudloff, Executive Director of Parks, Recreation, Community Services. You said that this program is in the summer. If there is enough funding, can this be a year-round program? Or...
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and just to remind the commission, this is the cannabis funding. So $500,000 is allotted for this program, which I feel is very excellent program, and Sandy and her staff do a fantastic job. So I guess maybe Sandy, as you're going through it, let's just see how it goes. And if we can make this a year-round program, that would be really great. And then we'll just kind of monitor it and go from there.
And to touch on that, Lisa, thank you for bringing that up. I know part of our funding is the Community Block Grant. We do have the possibility to definitely extend it, and we've been working our program so that there is that possibility to extend it throughout the year and go into past the summer. But because most of I call them the little ones, but they're not the little ones, the 16 to 17-year-olds go back into school, then that could help us focus on maybe the 18 to 21-year-olds and continue further, or those youth that want to maybe work less than 20 hours when school does start. And we definitely have the capability to be able to do that, and then are excited to be able to have that opportunity to do that, because I think it is a very much needed program that the community could benefit from.
Excellent. Thank you.
Miss Barba, I did have a question.
Yes, Yellow.
I was wondering, is there a number of youth that, is there a maximum limit of the number of youth that you're accepting for this program?
We had anticipated a budget of about 120, but given the additional funding we have, we are looking to push it to potentially 150. And if this continues past the summer, then definitely we will continue to grow that number. I know in the past, our past experience with this program is if we set a limit of 100, we always get 500 applicants. So I'm anticipating that need will still be there, and I'm hoping to see it there to also show the need and the interest in the community for it too. So yes, there is. Right now we're shooting for 120 to 150, but definitely have the potential to do more if need be.
Okay, and thank you. And then also just a comment, I'm sorry, sometimes the audio cuts out. I was wondering if that's just on my end. I don't know if anybody can.
Was everybody?
Also, maybe Sandy, you can get closer to your microphone, maybe?
Okay, let me see if I can get a little closer. Let me know if you guys didn't hear anything or if you guys need clarification. Are you guys able to hear me okay? Better? Okay, good.
Yeah, that's better.
And then again, this PowerPoint is available to you, and you're welcome to give us a call or email us with any questions with regards to any of this information.
Ms. Barba, I think I also have a question regarding this awesome program. Are we working in collaboration with our schools, particularly like our counselors, to get this information out to like the high schoolers who would want to participate in this program for the summer?
Yes, we are going to outreach to all the principals and the Santa Ana Unified School District, in addition to our nonprofits, some of our private. There's going to be some mass marketing happening in the next couple of weeks. We are looking to finalize the last touches to the platform to be able to launch it by the end of next week. So we are excited to be able to do that. But yes, there are a couple individuals that are really great within the school district and the community that make it easier. And then of course, there's always social media that helps a lot too. Any other questions? Great question.
I had a question. So it's to help like low income youth. What about like students who have like a learning disability or like a disability like autism? Is there like something like that can like help them with that? Because I know people that are interested in working, but they also have like a disability, and I just don't know if like.
Yes, that's a great question. Within the application, there is that question that asks if there is any disability that they have, and if they need any accommodations, to let us know. We do have 1 or 2 employers that work with individuals, like Goodwill Industries, that is really great at working with individuals with disability and can accommodate them also.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'll go ahead and talk about some of the program goals. Really good questions, by the way. The main goal is to provide work experience and career development to our Santa Ana youth. I know the last year has been very difficult for a lot of our high school students and early college, with schools being closed down. And this is very exciting for us to provide that to our youth. I've received many phone calls already where youth are calling to ask questions on, hey, where can I work? I'm ready to go back. I'm ready to go back to work or find a job or help out my parents during this time. So this is really a good opportunity for them. Another goal is to provide work readiness training. We're going to go ahead and provide that by offering workshops in resume writing, how to do well in an interview, asking those 10 tough interview questions, and career explorations. We don't expect young people to know what they want to be when they grow up, right? Sometimes even us as adults, we change our minds and we can change careers. So that's going to be one of the attractive workshops for our youth. And lastly, we want to provide quality employment training work sites in Santa Ana and our surrounding cities. We don't want to limit to just Santa Ana, but we are prioritizing Santa Ana. I know with transportation, that could be an issue for some of our youth who are on the bus, or maybe they're walking, they don't have a vehicle, and we want to make sure that it's still close to home. Let's go ahead and I'll talk about the next slide. How to apply. This is something that is going to be very easy this year. Like Sandy was mentioning, we are working on our platform. Once we have that link, we will share it with you. Youth will be able to complete an online application and upload all their necessary documents on the platform directly. Our launch date is early May. And a flyer with this information will be shared with our community, and we'll make sure to share it with you as well. So you can start sharing that on your social media pages. And jobs are awarded on a first come, first serve basis. So it's so important to let everybody know to apply early and to complete all the necessary documents so they can be placed at a work site. For any questions, we are leaving our phone number there to the Santa Ana Work Center and our email. Make sure that any questions, whether it's, any questions, we welcome all of them. Please email us and share this email now. It's up and running. That is the santa-ana.org. Okay, and I am handling the work sites. I've been working on this for the last month. We do have Goodwill Industries already. The YMCA has committed to provide work experience to our youth. Parks and Rec Department, thank you very much. And our Santa Ana libraries, as well as other businesses here in Santa Ana. So some of the frequently asked questions that we have been receiving are, what are the costs? What is the cost of this program if you want to participate as a work site? None. The city of Santa Ana will cover wages for our youth and also cover workers' compensation. So if you have any businesses in mind, please let them know about our great program, and they can contact me if they want to sign up. What are some of the obligations as a work site? Very easy. It's just basically to provide meaningful work experience for youth during the summer. And that comes with youth performance evaluations. And of course, they have to adhere to our worksite agreement, which, one of the main topics is that someone will be available to train the youth. We don't expect youth, right, to be left by themselves. So this is very important. We will be monitoring those work sites as well. When will youth be available for employment? Youth will be available for employment from the middle of June, again, through July. And we talked about extending the program for those older youth. And how will youth be placed at my site for the work sites? Youth will review the pledge forms and choose where they would like to work based on assessments of their interests and skills. So we want to make sure that we're connecting them to an area of interest to our youth. That way it's a win-win for both the work site and our youth. And for more information, please contact me. And there's the email again, sayemployment@santa-ana.org. And at this point, we would like to welcome any questions. If anyone has any questions, let us know.
Ms. Delgado, I was actually wondering, are these work opportunities going to be in person, or are some of them going to be, or will they be virtual or a hybrid?
Currently, the work sites are welcoming in person. So they are in person. But Sandy, do you want to talk about the workshops?
Yes, so it is technically kind of a hybrid program because the youth workshops, the orientation, all that at the onset of the program is also paid as part of their learning experience. So it's tied in with their in-person physical worksite experience. So initially they will start off virtually doing the workshops, the orientation, and guiding them through the process to prepare them for their physical work site. But then they will go into the various work sites that Araceli mentioned and more to gain that valuable hands-on experience.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Sandy, I had a question. What if youth cannot get a ride to work sites? Is there any other options for youth to get to where they need to go?
Yes, thank you very much for bringing that in. We might have not mentioned that, but we are providing supportive services. So if a youth is getting to their location or needs to get to our location for the work sites or whatever is required for the program, we are offering paid bus passes for the month. And we also provide, if the youth is driving or if mom and dad or somebody older is driving them around, we also offer a gas card to help them get around. So they have the option of either bus pass and the gas card if they're taking the bus, which is the majority of what's going to happen with a lot of our youth that we've seen in the past, is we guide them through that process too. They're going to have their counselor that's going to help them. Hey, how do you navigate the bus? If you're not familiar, how do you get to point A to from point A to point B? Give them a map, kind of guide them in that scenario. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
Any other questions? Also, I know some of our work sites, speaking of support services, in the past, we work with health agencies or areas that maybe require the youth to use scrubs as a volunteer. We also provide them with those tools if they need them, or the wardrobe or the uniform that's required for their work experience. So we do have not a huge budget, but some budgeted for those type of requests from the work sites, and or if they need TB testing or I know some of our agencies that we're working with are going to be working with youth. So we always want to make sure that our youth are protected. So there might be a background check for some of our older youth, fingerprinting, things of that nature. So we're trying to work out all those details before the youth start also. So we're trying to make sure that we cover all bases.
Commissioner Verdin?
I was just wondering if it would be strict, like for the work experience, if it would just be strictly like, because I heard that we were gonna do workshops and like experience for working, but there's also other like conditions that some youth may need to get to their job sites. Like what if they want to start practicing for their permit, like driving permit or driver's license, or like maybe they need a lessons in financial literacy. I was just wondering if it was almost like strictly like writing resumes and like learning that type of work experience, or if there also be a like outreach for those types of things as well.
We have incorporated some life skills into the workshops, like financial management, time management, how to manage in stressful circumstances, how to present yourself professionally. So it won't just be how do I write a resume or the job skills, because I think they're all encompassing as far as trying to be a successful employee or a young adult. So we have incorporated some life skills. We don't have anything with regards to driving, but we do have like the financial literacy and the time management and those type of life skills that'll help them. How to open up a bank account, what does a check mean, how to read their check, their pay stub, things of that nature. And then they'll also have their counselor or their case manager that will guide them. So if they're looking and asking questions about college too, our counselors can provide some of that information or guide them in that avenue also.
Sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sandy, one last thing. I was wondering can you come back at the end of the summer and just let them know, the Youth Commission know how the program went, or whatever time you feel is appropriate, so you can kind of report back and give them an update?
Absolutely, we'd be happy to.
Thank you.
Perfect. Last question. I think going back to the ending of the presentation, where if we had any businesses in mind that would want to participate in this program, would we just kind of redirect them to you guys, and then you guys have that process with them?
Yes, you can go ahead and give them my information. I will also share my direct, anybody can call that number and they can ask for Araceli Delgado. I have all the paperwork and I'll make sure to meet with them. That way they know the process and we'll add them on our list to be a work site.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, also just real quick, I was wondering for the businesses that that want to apply for work sites, are they exclusively going to be in Santa Ana? Like, or like if they're close, like within a few miles, like would they still apply, or was it only in our city?
No, we are definitely prioritizing Santa Ana, but please, and the surrounding cities, for example, Tustin, Orange, Costa Mesa, we did get some of the local nonprofits and we have approved them because they're right on the border. So that makes it easier for our youth. Some of our youth live more closely. We have different areas in Santa Ana, obviously, so we'll give them a choice. We are asking the work sites to provide us with their cross streets. That way, when the counselors are meeting with the youth who have been determined eligible, they can make that decision. Because we want them to be successful, right? And show up on time and every day during the summer.
Great question.
I'm so sorry. I know that we said last
No,
question
not at all.
seconds ago. But just a suggestion. I was wondering if the Santa Ana Work Center does not have one, maybe it would be beneficial to start a program where there could be a driver from the Santa Ana Work Center to take these people seeking for jobs to their workplace. Just because I know that in cases like mine, sometimes my parents are busy, and yes, public transportation would help. But I think Commissioner Huizar brought up a good point, which is that there are people like me who do get things like absence seizures, so my parents wouldn't feel comfortable letting me go on public transportation alone. So I think that that would just be great to expand this program to everybody so that nobody's excluded.
That's a great point. I know one of our partners here at the work center, at the work center is Department of Rehab, and they're really great at addressing any additional accommodations that individuals might need and seeing how they can make them successful, whether it's, somebody helping out with that, or seeing how maybe they have a service that can be paid for individuals with disabilities, or that might need additional assistance so that they're able to be productive and successful at their work site. We can definitely incorporate that question and maybe connect with that partner to see how we can best serve individuals that might find it a little bit more challenging or have difficulty within the transportation arena. Thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you so much.
Any others?
I apologize. Can I say one more thing? For the Youth Commission, I don't know this answer. Can you take an Uber? Can you take a taxi? Or do you have to be a certain age for that? And if you can, could we get some type of vouchers or something for people to utilize? I'm not sure.
I can answer that question. For Uber and Lyft, you have to, under the terms and conditions of those companies, the customer has to be of legal age, 18, or with an adult present. In most cases, sometimes the Uber drivers are lenient, but again, it doesn't follow with the guidelines that the company actually tells their drivers. So really, it just depends on the driver you are assigned. If the driver is okay with taking you and you're under 18, then they'll take you. But in some cases, there are times where drivers refuse because they are trying to follow company policy.
Got it. Thank you. Well, maybe we can work together, Sandy, to figure out options for transportation. Because another thing I need to discuss with the Youth Commission is, once we go back to in-person meetings, how is the Youth Commission going to get to the meetings? That might be a problem, because we were trying to think of, okay, can we Uber, can we taxi, can we do something of that nature? So maybe we can work together, Sandy, and figure something out if those issues arise.
Absolutely. I think it's always easier with the 18 and older for sure, but definitely working with the 16 and 17 because of the liability and making sure parent permission and that, but we can definitely look at some different options and see what we can get done. Great.
Awesome. Seeing no more questions, I want to thank you guys for the presentation. It was awesome. Thank you for offering these services for us. I think, are we good to move forward? Recording Secretary?
Yes, Chairperson.
Perfect. Again, thank you for the presentation. Youth Commission, if you guys have any more questions for our presenters, please feel free to reach out to them. And then again, when those marketing tools do come out, we'd be more than happy to help you guys with that process and promoting it within our own social media platforms. So if you guys want to send us a flyer or anything like that that you guys have created, by all means, we'd be more than happy to help with that. So thank you again for presenting. We very much appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and move on with the agenda, which I believe moves on to public comments. Recording Secretary, does anyone wish to speak?
There are no public comments today, Chairperson.
Okay, moving on, we do have consent calendar items. Next on the agenda is the consent calendar items for item 1 and 2. Do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I motion
I
to.
motion.
Sound good, perfect. We have a motion from Commissioner Echegoyen. Do we have a second?
I second that motion.
Perfect. We have a motion and a second by Commissioner Verdin. Now, Recording Secretary, could we please have a vote?
Commissioner Verdin,
Yes.
Commissioner Diaz,
Yes.
Commissioner Chegoyen,
Yes.
Commissioner Weezer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ortega,
Yes.
Commissioner Donis,
Yes.
Commissioner Manguilar.
Yes.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Now moving on to the business calendar items. We do have, I believe, one item, which is or actually, never mind. It is the, business calendar, which is the review and discuss the proposed Youth Commission bylaw amendments. Recommended action is to provide input. So I believe city staff, is there any in particular that you want us to cover? Hopefully that you guys all got a chance to take a look at that. But I'll go ahead and pass it on to city staff to talk a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chair Diaz. What you have before you in your packet is a proposal to amend the bylaws. So the last time the bylaws were amended was in 2015. And since that time, the City Council has changed the municipal code related to the Youth Commission. So simply, this is really a cleanup and an amendments related and corresponding to the municipal code changes. And the process I thought we'd follow, if you're agreeable, is to get your input. If there's any input, then we'll take that to our city attorney. She will review it, and then I'll bring it back to you. And then you would vote on it. And then we would move it forward to the City Council for approval. So in exhibit, I believe 2, let me see here, excuse me. Exhibit 2, I believe, has the amendments, and I'll just simply quickly go over these. In 1.0, you have the name of the commission. 2.0 is the location of where you do business, which is at the Civic Center. 3.0 is the commission establishment. It talks about the municipal code in there. 4.0 is the requirements of membership, and this is part of the municipal code that changed. Which is saying that students enrolled attending need to be in school from 7th to 12th grade. Of course, if there is an exception, the council has the authority to make an exception to that, as they did this year. And then we have 5.0, the responsibilities and duties of the commission. And those describe what you have been asked to do by the city council. 6.0 talks about membership and vacancies and removal of the commission, the term of the commission. 7.0 is the compensation of the commission. 8.0 talks about the officers of the commission. 9.0 talks about the meetings of the commission. And one of these we need to discuss is when you would like to have your meetings. If you look at 9.4 under meetings, I'll read it in case you don't have it in front of you. It says regular meetings. The commission shall meet on the 4th Friday of the month. And so I'm not sure if that's what you want. So we'll need to make that change if you want to change the date of the meetings. It also talks about virtual meetings. Just because of the pandemic, I added in a place for virtual meetings. I think when the governor lifts the order that the pandemic is over and we all have to go back to in-person meetings, we're going to have to do that. I've asked the city attorney if we could continue with virtual meetings and we cannot. So we'll have to, we'll talk about that later and talk about the semantics of that. And then the last one, it says 10.0 bylaws. It simply says that bylaws need to be approved by the city council. So with that, I'll just open it up for any questions. I think the main thing I need to know is what date you would like to have your meetings on. And I think Bill, Recording Secretary Sandoval has maybe some suggestions of dates because we have to coordinate with other city staff. So Mr. Sandoval, if you have some suggestions for the commission, if you can speak up now, that'd be great.
Thank you, Executive Director Rudolph. Chairperson and members of the commission, we do have the date in it, and remember also these dates may coincide with the upcoming Memorial Day weekend as well. So the third Friday of the month for next month as well will fall in on May 21st. And then we do have the fourth Friday of the month again, which is May 28th. Now I know that in the grander picture, everyone is, apologize for that, my video was not up. In the grander picture, everyone is looking to make a decision on the date that the commission will meet, whether it's the third Friday or the fourth Friday. I do want to remind everyone that once we do go back to live in-house meetings, the third Friday of the month is usually when City Hall is open, and the fourth Friday of the month is when City Hall is closed. So typically, we've had in the past, it's been a challenge to be able to hold a meeting when City Hall has been closed, unless we still fall under virtual. So 2 items to kind of think about. I know that this is something that maybe the commissioners would like to kind of maybe talk a little bit more, but to kind of get into next month, we would just need to decide if the commissioners would like to hold it on the third Friday, which is the 21st, or the fourth Friday on May, which is the 28th, given in consideration also that the following Monday is Memorial Day weekend, and I don't know if some of the commissioners may have some plans.
Also think about, is Friday a good date for you? Maybe think about when we go back to in-person meetings, how are you going to, get rides and what works for your family, or however you're going to get to our meetings, and we'll help you out with that also. I haven't figured out a solution yet for the rides, but we'll get something together. And I think you have time until the next meeting to figure out, if it's the third Friday or the fourth Friday, or you want to go on a Tuesday. If you, in general, agree with the proposed bylaws, I can send it off to the city attorney and then bring it back to you. And then at that time, you can put in your date of when you want to meet, if that's more convenient for you.
I can only speak for myself as to my personal preference, but I think that Fridays are a great day just because we are of school age, and that gives us more leniency because we can carry over our assignments and do them over the weekend. So Friday is more of a flexible day. And for the sake of convenience, if it's easier for us to have our meetings when City Hall is open, then the third Friday would be excellent for me. I have no issue with that.
Yeah, I would go ahead and agree with Commissioner Echegoyen on this one. I think Friday works with a lot of our schedules. For myself personally, I think it works with me as well. And then as for the third or fourth, I would also go with the third Friday of the month, only because we are talking about looking in the future for Memorial Day weekend, just to play it safe. I would probably, my vote would be to recommend for the third Friday of the month, but I'd love to hear what the other commissioners think as well.
I agree with both Commissioner Echegoyen and Diaz. Friday works perfectly for us, especially how we're in school. Well, I'm speaking for myself, but seeing how we agree, I'm pretty sure Friday is a more flexible day for us. It doesn't, how is it? It doesn't interfere with any other events or practices. You know, some of us are in other programs at school. It works fine for me. And I also agree that the third Friday of the month works just fine. Like, since city council will be open. I mean, city hall will be open.
Yeah, going right. Oh, sorry. Going right along. I think I also agree that Friday works the best, just because you know, classes and it's at the end of the week, so I think it's best during that time. And I think personally, I would say the third Friday of the month, just because I think it's more convenient for you know, with the opening of City Hall, and yeah, I think the third one would work.
I understand where everyone is coming from, and I see why everyone, or not everyone, but the people who, the commissioners who have talked so far, why their preference is Friday. As far as my situation goes, Fridays have worked until now because I had asked for the day off of work, but unless it's convenient for every other commissioner, I would like it to be moved to Thursday, and this is only because of my situation. I know I bring this up because Friday is a, sorry about that. Friday is a day where I get many more hours at work, and my family doesn't have many financial avenues, I guess you could call it. And so, you know, I really like to help out that way. Yeah, that's just where I'm coming from. If the rest of the commissioners also decide that it's more convenient for everyone to have it on a Friday, I'm okay with either the third or fourth Friday of the month. I'm just saying, like, Friday specifically. If every other commissioner decides that it's more convenient for everyone that Friday is the set date, I'm fine with that too. Just wanting to let out my point of view too.
Friday would be more convenient for me, but I can rearrange everything to make it more convenient for you because I don't have much going on. But I think that what you have to do is very important based on what you've said for about your family. So I think like we can like arrange something so like we can fit like all of our like preferences, but it doesn't like the third Friday. If it was like the third Friday would work for me because it's more convenient. But I think we can like all arrange something so all of us can be here.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, if it, for me personally, Thursday, Friday doesn't make too much of a difference. It's the end of the week, you know. For me, it's usually more hectic in the beginning of the week. But I don't know about everybody else. Thursday works just fine. And I think it's really, I don't know if noble is the right word, but like, just, you're a good person.
To follow up, oh,
No, go ahead.
oh, okay, I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
To follow up, Commissioner Manguilar, would Thursday be the only day that works best for you? Would any other day throughout the week work as well, given, as you mentioned, your situation, or is Thursday the only other day?
Thank you for asking, Commissioner. The days I have off of work are Mondays and Thursdays, right? And as the commissioner before mentioned, you know, I also do have a very busy schedule at the beginning of the week. So my Monday is taken up. Like I said, it means a lot that some of you have like come up and you know, there's no difference. That's very sweet. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Commissioner Manguilar, I was going to ask, would it be a possibility if your work would excuse you for that 1 hour and still let you do work afterward, because you'd still be getting compensated by the commission?
Right, that's a good question. And because I am committed to my work and to the commission, to the youth of Santa Ana, I did ask this question, and my work said that they'd rather me just like have the day off, you know, that they don't mind. So I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Okay, then in that case, I mean, I think whatever works best for you, because it's what you need to do to help your family.
I think I'm in agreement with Commissioner Virgin. I'm okay with it moving to Thursday as well. City staff, would that be okay? Because I know that we haven't done that before, but would it be okay for the commission to move it on a Thursday, the third Thursday of every month?
Yeah, Bill, is that okay for City Hall? And also what time is best for the commission? I guess, Bill, you would need to know that.
Thank you, Executive Director Rudolph and Chairperson Diaz. What I would like to do is come back to the commissioners with an exact availability of days, if you will. And I believe we're talking about long-term here is what we're looking at. So we're looking at the long-term. So what I would like to do is I would like to come back to the commission and give you guys updates and options at that point in time. One of the things that we would have to take a look at on the long-term effect of it is if there are any other meetings being held here at City Hall on Thursdays, because then that would cause an issue, because whether we start, let's say, at 3 or at 6, if there's a meeting going on, we can't have 2 meetings going on at the same time. So if the chairperson and the commissioner is okay, come back for the next meeting and provide you with options for the long-term portion of that. But not to confuse it though, for the next month, we will need to make a decision whether we do a 3rd Friday or do we do the 4th Friday for next month. But on the long-term basis, we would come back and present to you options for that.
Yeah, that's great. Mr. Sandoval, and we'll make it work for Thursdays. We'll talk with the city clerk and see what we can do. And the worst thing that could happen is we could say it's on Fridays, but we could have special meetings on Thursdays. So we'll get it figured out. I'd like to ask one thing is what's like the best time? Is 4 o'clock the best time? Is 3 o'clock the best time? 6 o'clock? What works for the commission?
If I may say, for me, for the programs that I'm involved in, usually they happen in the afternoon. So that will like evening almost. Like my marching band practices, they used to happen around 5:30 to 6. So honestly, 3 to 4, that time slot works pretty well. Or even then, like I'm willing to compensate. Like who knows if they're even going to take place on a Thursday or a Friday. So it's like, it is what we used to do when we were back in school is that we'd compromise, like, oh, you'll take off an hour for to do whatever you need, like sports practice or whatever, study hall, and you can just come back to the practice later, which honestly works. If it's only once a month, you know, I'm willing to do whatever time slot, but I like this 3 to 4 time slot, or even starting at 4. That works too.
For me personally, sorry,
Go
you can
ahead.
go. No, you can go.
Oh, okay. Starting at 3 works for me. I was just wondering if it works for everybody else, just because I know that my high school is pretty close to City Hall, but I don't know about everybody else's. And traffic gets pretty hectic after school lets out. So I don't know if we should be taking that into consideration as well.
3, I would say 3 o'clock works for me as well, just as Commissioner Echegoyen. But yeah, as mentioned, we'd love to hear what works best for you guys as well.
For me, I have soccer practice starting at like 4, but I have to be at the school from like 3:30. But we're trying to change the times a little bit, so I don't know what's happening because all my schedule's like all messed up, and Friday's the only day like I don't have soccer. But I can rearrange that. I can talk to my coaches. I talked to my coaches before, like we started, and they said like I can have a days off, but like I just need time to tell them, because I can't just like be missing in like practice and then be like, oh, it's at this time. And then my coaches are understanding about that, but like I'm also the only goalie that's like we have. So
I think for me, 3 to 4 would work best. But yeah.
Yeah, same. I would agree with that. I think that would give, as a person that uses the bus a lot, I think that would give a sufficient amount of time to get to a city hall.
For sure. I mean, like Commissioner Chigoyen mentioned, I know that we go to Santa Ana High School, like some of us, I believe it's Commissioner Rizar and I and Commissioner Chigoyen. So it's pretty close, but traffic does get hectic. But I think starting in at 3, like once in the long term that we start going in person, I think it's a good time slot to like when usually school, I believe it ended at like 2:30, 2:40. We could just like rush over there. But I don't know about everybody else. I would think that their schools might be a little farther. So, but I mean, 3 works, 4 works. I feel like since it's only once a month, we might be able to be more flexible about that. Like if you go to every single practice and you only miss once a month, minus emergencies or things like that, it might just work out for everybody. But that's just my opinion. I want to know what you.
And also remember that it's okay. I mean, we know that you have things to do and you're probably going to miss a meeting or two. So we understand that. So yeah, we want to accommodate everyone. Another thing I was thinking, maybe we can, Mr. Sandoval, you probably are not going to be happy with this, but what if we switched our meetings to different schools? What if they were hosted? Like, what if each of you hosted them at your school site? Would that make it easier or more complicated for, getting here to there? Think about that. You don't have to decide now, but that might be another thing we can do. The Zoom, while we're doing Zoom, we can't do that. Obviously, I'm sorry, we wouldn't be doing that. In person, we could think about that. And I'm not sure if your bus system or something would get you from here to there, so.
Ms. Rudloff, I think your proposal is great, but I did have a program that I was in that had different locations that we alternated in between. And after a while, it would become confusing to say, oh, this is where we're going this week or this month. So that might become a problem in the long run.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Point well taken. Got it.
I would like to add on my part, as long as we continue hosting these meetings once a month virtually, I am available at 3. Once we get started in person, I'm not sure that I will be available at 3 just because, yes, I do live in Santa Ana. I'm in the 6th district though, so I'm on the border of like Santa Ana and Fountain Valley. I go to school in Fountain Valley. And so like getting like from there all the way over here downtown, that is more than a 15-minute drive for me. So yeah, once we go back to in person, I think it would work best for me. I'm sorry if we start at 4.
Okay. Well, again, we don't need to decide this today. Not a problem. Keep thinking about it. We'll bring it back. I think what we will do is we'll talk about the date on the Thursday at 3 or 4 o'clock and see if that works, and we'll bring it back. And is there any other input or questions you have about the proposed bylaws? If there's not, then I will move it on to the city attorney and bring it back to you next month. And then we can make adjustments and go from there.
Yes, actually, I was wondering if we can add amendments or propose amendments.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to propose a limit to the amount of meetings called off by staff. So section 5.0, subheading 5.3 explains the Youth Commission's duties to include, quote unquote, acting in an advisory capacity and considering the proposed annual budget, for the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services Agency. However, and I say this with the utmost respect. I noted that the commission was continually canceled during the period we were meant to be providing input concerning the spending of cannabis funding, and meetings were not resumed until after the decisions were made. And personally, it can make the Youth Commission appear to be for tokenism. And once more, that is with utmost respect. My sole intention with proposing this amendment is to hold the Youth Commission accountable in its written goal for fostering mutual understanding and respect for youth.
Okay, let me look real quick here. I'm looking in the meeting section. Quorum, regular meetings. Posted. I'm looking under regular meetings. The commission shall meet on the fourth or whatever Friday of the month. All regular meetings shall be posted. You can hold special, but I don't believe we have the option to cancel the meetings. I think what happened was the pandemic, but I understand what you're saying. So let me ask the city attorney where that can be added in.
Okay, yeah, I'm just asking because it does mention that there's a limit to how many meetings we as commissioners can miss. And I
Okay.
understand that the pandemic was going on at that time, but it's still going on. And
Yeah.
there are still other bodies that are were able to meet during that time that we were not able to meet. And I just think it's important to prioritize the Youth Commission meeting.
Okay, got it. Any other amendments or questions? Okay, if there are none, then I'll go ahead and take that back and then put this back on the agenda for next month. And I appreciate your input, and I appreciate the thoughtfulness on the dates and times to accommodate each other. That's fantastic, and know that we will do everything we can to help you because we know you have busy schedules, and so we're here for you, and please don't ever hesitate to reach out to us. So thank you so much for this agenda item. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, city staff. I think that moves us on to the end of our special meeting today, which would give us the next item, which is our adjournment. Would we have a motion? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Commissioner, Chairperson, I'm sorry, Chairperson, you do have commission comments before that.
And Chairperson Diaz, also, this time we took out the Youth Commission liaison report because we weren't sure if you really needed that report or wanted that report. But Mr. Lara does have some items to ask you and talk to you about. So if we can turn it over to him, I'd appreciate it.
Of course, no, we're more than happy. I'll pass it on to Mr. Lara for that report.
Sorry, I was still muted. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope your week is ending well. Just wanted to share a couple of opportunities for the Youth Commission to serve in a capacity of providing feedback and or reviewing submittals. The first is an invitation from our community development agency and planning and building, I'm sorry. And they're asking for a volunteer from the Youth Commission to serve on the general plan housing element roundtable discussions that will be taking place starting on a Tuesday, May 25th. And it'll be followed by 4 additional meetings once per week, starting about 5:30 p.m. And it should be no more than 2 hours. So you should be done by 7:30 p.m. Again, this is a voluntary commitment to be the youth voice on the general plan housing element roundtable discussions that will be taking place again starting in May. So as you ponder that and see who's available, and they just need 1 volunteer for that opportunity. We also have another opportunity for the Youth Commission to also now one of you to serve on the review board for the submittals that the city will be receiving after having released a call for mural proposals. So as I believe most of you are aware, the city does have fitness courts throughout our park system. Eventually, we're going to have a total of 8 fitness courts, and through funding that's been allocated for those courts, we will be actually installing artwork that is representative of our city, and artwork that is created by artists that are residents of the city or that work in collaborative efforts with artists in the city of Santa Ana. So again, we will be accepting those mural proposals through Friday, May 28th, and shortly thereafter, the committee to review these submittals will meet and decide as to which are selected and then eventually installed on the courts throughout our park system. So ideally, again, we hope that there'll be at least 2 of you interested, 1 each, in serving in the capacity of, again, being the youth voice on the general plan element, as well as then on the review panel for the mural proposal submittal. So is there any one of you currently interested in available in serving in either of these 2 volunteer opportunities?
Definitely. I would be, excuse me, I would be honored to be a part of reviewing the murals. That sounds like an incredible opportunity. I'd love to.
And I believe that's virtual, so you don't have to be anywhere, and you'll be able to look at them online and evaluate them online, correct, Mr. Lara?
That is my understanding, and yes, once we provide the contact information for those of you that will be serving in either of these volunteer opportunities, you'll receive additional information. But for now, it is anticipated that both of your roles would be served virtually.
And let's make sure that they get paid for these meetings. So let's double check to make sure that's appropriate, and we'll get back to you.
Okay, so Cielo, we have you interested for the mural assignment. Is there someone else interested in possibly serving on the housing element for the city's general plan?
Yeah, I'm interested in serving in the housing.
And I'm sorry, you did not come up on the screen. So who was that speaking?
Commissioner Ordonez.
Ordonez. Okay. And I thought somebody else was about to speak also.
I had a question about the housing.
Uh-huh.
Does that mean it touches on homelessness?
I am not fully aware as to what that will encompass. We can definitely pose the question for you. My understanding is just to kind of looking at a general plan for the current housing in the city, but most importantly on future housing developments in the city. But obviously, I'm sure that that'll touch on, and again, I don't want to attest to it because I'm not sure, but I'm sure, it may include a discussion on how to also address the homelessness issue.
Understood. Thank you for clarifying.
Okay. All right, so if everyone is in agreement, then we are going to have Ms. Echegoyen serve on the mural review panel and Ms. Ordonez serving on the housing element panel. So we'll pass that information on, and then you can expect to receive additional details from the city staff that are leading both of those efforts. And that does it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. I think now we are good to move on to commissioner comments, if I'm correct with that, recording secretary.
That is correct, Chairperson.
Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and start with the commissioner from Ward 1. Go ahead, if you would have any public comments, now would be the time to have those.
Yes, thank you. So first off, I apologize for being late. I'm currently competing in a speech and debate tournament, so that's what took up my time. But yes, I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited for Commissioner Echegoyen and Commissioner Ordonez to serve on these different projects throughout our city to share the voice of the youth.
Thank you, Commissioner Ortega. Now if we can have the commissioner from Ward 2. Any comments? Now would be the time to do so.
I'm like, good luck, Isabel. You got this. You're gonna do great in that competition. And I just want to say that I'm honored to be on the housing panel. I think it's an exciting opportunity for sure. And I'm excited also for Cielo because I want to see those murals. I definitely saw it on social media, and I'm excited for that project. But those are all my comments.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now for the commissioner from Ward 3, Commissioner Virgin, any comments?
I would just like to say good luck, Commissioner Ortega. You're gonna do amazing. I just know it. And good luck to Commissioner Ordonez and Commissioner Echegoyen on your assignments. I'm sure that will go very well, and I'm excited to see what we guys come up with. And I also just wanted to mention again, I think I mentioned this in the last meeting, but I would really like to put on the agenda for the next meeting an emphasis on trying to sort out the Youth Commission social media. Again, I would think it would be really beneficial for us to utilize that resource and getting out resource, because we can all post whatever we want on our personal social medias, but I think having a central resource, like I guess account, whether it be on Instagram, Facebook, those types of social medias to get it out and get out the word. I just, it would almost be like a little hub for people to look for resources. And I would really like for us to have that or have access to it.
Yes, Ms. Alara can bring back to you next time that item and discuss it and put it on the agenda and provide information.
Thank you, Commissioner Verdin. And now for the Commissioner of Ward 4, any public comment, any comments?
Is that me? I got confused. Oh, okay. I got confused for a minute. Sorry. I just wanted to say, I want to wish good luck to Commissioner Ortega. You're going to do great. You're going to do, you got this. Like, we all believe in you. I want to say congratulations to Commissioner Ordonez. Congratulations on wanting, being like volunteering yourself. I could never, because like I have social anxiety. And congratulations to, I'm sorry, Cielo, I don't know how to say your last name. I've always struggled with it, but like, you're gonna do great with like the murals because you do the digital art for our club, and it's amazing. Like everything you do is like amazing. So you're gonna do great. So.
Thank you, Commissioner. Now I believe for my comments today, as everyone was already stating, I would like just to echo my congratulations and also good luck to Commissioner Ortega. I know you're going to do great at the speech and debate competition. And then in addition, like Commissioner Verdin said, we'd love to hear back about that social media page. I know the commission has had one before in the past, and if we can get access to that, it'd be super helpful. But in addition, just a conclusion, thank you guys for the meeting. Thank you for all your input. It's very helpful. And hopefully next meeting, we can finalize those dates and times for the future meetings of the Youth Commission. That ends my comments for today. But I think we are now good to move on to adjourning. Yes.
I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make my comments really quickly.
Yes, go ahead, Cielo.
I just wanted to echo again, like Commissioner Diaz did, good luck to Commissioner Ortega. I'm actually a speech and debate judge, so I suspected you were competing because you have your pearls on. Thank you so much for the opportunity to review the murals. Commissioner Huizar, thank you so much for your kind words. I love art, so that's such an exciting opportunity. To Commissioner Ordonez, it's also super exciting for you to be assigned to the housing committee because I know that traffic is crazy and it's so fascinating to be a part of something like that. And thank you to everybody simply for I think today it was so nice to see how everybody accommodated for Commissioner Manguilar. So I just thought it was great, and it shows what a great character all of you guys have. So thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to add on to what Commissioner Chikohian said. Thank you all for trying to accommodate for my situation. It's very humbling, and I'm very happy to be working with and beside each and every one of you.
Thank you, commissioners. Now, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Chairperson,
Yes, sir.
just wanted to get a reminder that we still need to decide on for next month if we will be meeting on the 3rd or the 4th Friday for May.
Of course. Going back to that discussion, I believe there was a number of commissioners, and correct me if I'm wrong here, commissioners. I believe a lot of us were in agreement that the third Friday of the month was what worked best for most of us, just to be aware of Memorial Day weekend. But again, what are your thoughts?
I'm good for the 3rd Friday of the month.
Yeah, I think that's what we all expressed, the 3rd Friday of the month, but being sensible also to Commissioner Manguilar's situation.
The 3rd Friday of the month works well for me. Thank you.
That's what I was thinking, because you said that as long as we're virtual, Friday works for you at this time slot. So I think we discussed the long-term time slots in the next meeting, but as of now, I can only speak for myself, but I'm just trying to accommodate everybody. I think for now this should be okay for the 3rd Friday.
I have to go ahead and agree as well that the 3rd Friday of the month works as well for me.
Yeah, the 3rd Friday works good.
Perfect. Okay, then recording secretary, would we need to have a vote, or are we good to go on that?
You are good to go on that.
Perfect. And now are we okay to move forward with adjourning?
That is correct.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Now, do we have a motion to adjourn the April 23rd, 2021 Youth Commission meeting?
I motion to adjourn.
We
have a motion by Commissioner Echegoyen. Do we have a second?
I second that motion.
Okay.
Thank you. We have a second by Commissioner Verdon. Again, thank you guys, everyone, for this productive meeting. I appreciate all of your inputs. That concludes the meeting for today. We adjourn at, let's see, at 4:14. Thanks again, everyone.
Have a nice day, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all.